Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen coming at you from Legion Law. I'm the owner of the firm, and we provide estate planning and probate services for those who are in need of legal services in the DFW area. Today I wanted to talk to you about what is a will and why should you have one. This is probably the most common question I get, but before I get into that, let me remind you guys you can reach out to me at legionlawpllc.com, or you can email me directly at derek@legionlawpllc.com. My name's spelled D-E-R-E-K, but you can probably see that on the website and in other locations. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. What is a will and why do you need one? Well, a will is a legal document that is binding on those who have to split up your estate after you pass away. And a will specifically declares how your assets will be split up. Now, wills are very unique in the fact that they can be pretty much anything. They can contain any provision, they can contain any directive on how to split up the assets. So in theory, you could send all your assets to the Queen of England after you pass away. If you want, you can. I don't recommend it, and I haven't had too many clients do that, but at the end of the day, you get to do what you want to do with all the things that you worked for your entire life in the will. And people must do it. So specifically, if you disqualify your wife, if you don't give anything to your wife, or if you specifically exclude your children or your best friend or whatever, it doesn't matter, it must be done, if it's done correctly. So to correctly make a will, there are the contents of the will that must be in accordance with Texas law, but in addition to that, the will must be signed by two witnesses, and there must be there doesn't have to be, but there usually is a self-proving affidavit at the end of the will. Now, a self-proving affidavit is kind of important because it prevents the witnesses from having to go to court after you pass away. Because if you don't have a self-proving affidavit, the witnesses must fly in, go before the judge and say, yes, I saw the testator, or whoever signed the will, I saw that person sign the will. So it's a pain in the butt, and if you don't have one, that can be a problem. And some online wills don't provide them because it's kind of a peculiar Texas thing. So that's a will. That's how you execute one. And why should you have one? Well, simply put, and I discussed this in my previous videos, if you don't have a will, there are default rules called intestacy laws that will apply to your estate. And those intestacy laws, they do not care whatsoever on what you want or what your family dynamics are. So if you married your wife for a day and you realize you made a mistake and you want to divorce her, well, if you passed away and you're still married and you didn't have a will, then Texas doesn't care. The wife's going to get most things under Texas law. And if you have children from another wife and then you have a second wife, things get extremely complicated. And if you own real estate, it gets even more complicated. For example, in Texas, there is a possibility where if you have a second wife and kids from the first wife, then the second wife gets part interest in the property, real estate, which would be your home or other properties, and the kids will also get an interest in the property, and that can lead to conflict very quickly. So to prevent all these headaches and to prevent from the very rigid rules of Texas applying to what you worked for your entire life, you should have a will, at least a will. You know, there are better estate planning vehicles out there. There's trusts that are pretty good in comparison to a will, but a will is better than nothing. Nothing is very bad. And so I understand I'm a little biased in the matter, but I believe that everyone should have an estate plan, and at a very bare minimum, there should be a will. So if you don't have one, or if you want to change yours or create a new one, or circumstances have changed in your life, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Derek Christensen. I'm the owner of Legion Law, and Legion Law provides estate planning services and probate services for those who are in need, especially in Texas. So thank you very much, and you guys have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.